Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Brian Lee Durfee, author of The Forgetting Moon and The Blackest Heart, both published by Simon & Schuster Saga Press. Today we're going to be doing a special mid-month book haul. Usually I only do book hauls at the end of the month. This time I'm going to do a special Comic-Con book haul because I've been to two Comic-Cons. Connecticut Comic-Con and Salt Lake City Comic-Con, and I got a bunch of books while I was there, and I got them signed by the people that I met, and so I thought I'd show them to you. You know, whenever you have a Comic-Con and come through your state or your town, go and meet the authors, get your books signed. I'm telling you, Bard's Tower is where all the authors hang out at these at the Comic-Cons. What happens is, it's a big bookstore, and they fly different authors to different Comic-Cons so fans can meet us. And I was in the Connecticut Comic-Con, Salt Lake City Comic-Con, and we have a big bookstore on the showroom floor, and everybody can come and sign. And if you've been following my channel, you saw what authors we had at Connecticut and at Salt Lake. And so I'm going to do that. Apologize the last couple weeks. Haven't done a lot of book review videos, but we'll get back to those. You know, I was in Washington, D.C., I was in Virginia, I was in Connecticut, I did the Salt Lake Comic-Con. 2 weeks, I didn't read a whole hell of a lot of books, but back home now, we're going to get back to that. But let's see what books I bought at the last two Comic-Cons I attended, and got them signed by the authors. And there's one special book here that I'm super excited about, and I'm going to do that one last. But let's get to the author. I met one of the great science fiction authors, S.M. Stirling, at Salt Lake Comic-Con. I bought 9 of his Change series. Now, I've read the first 3 of these a long time ago, but I finally met the guy at one of the Bard's Towers events, and he signed the first. I bought the first 9 books in the series. I think there's 15 books in the Change series. And he signed them all to me. So that was at Salt Lake City Comic-Con. And so, but I'm going to talk about these books here for a second. So, book number 2, of course, they're all signed. I'm not going to show you the signature on all of them, but just believe me, they're all signed. Book number 3. Book number 4, book number 5, and then things go ass over teapot, because book number 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, I also got signed, but I want to show you something, folks. So I got them signed too, but we get one of those weird publisher decisions where mid-series they decided to change the format of the book. And you know I hate that. I did a video on this very thing where publishers, the worst decision ever made in publishing was this mass market paperback here. 1,000 years of mass market paperbacks in this size, and nobody complained. I mean, since the time of Jesus, this was the size of the mass market paperbacks. And then, you know, about 10 years ago, they decided to do these oblong ones that everybody hates. So that's going to be a bit of an OCD issue for me, knowing that the first 5 books in the series are normal sized, and then the last books in the series are this oblong size. Now, it's cool that I got them all signed, and this is no fault of S.M. Stirling. In fact, I talked to him about this very phenomenon. He's as pissed off as the rest of us. There's not one fucking human on the planet that likes this bullshit. Not one goddamn fucking human. So publishers, pull your heads out of your asses. Stop being fucking morons. And let's end the madness. That was the Salt Lake Comic-Con. That's what I met S.M. Stirling at the Bard's Tower there, where he was signing books next to me, and I got those signed. He actually was gracious enough to buy a couple of my books, and I signed them for him. So Now, Connecticut Comic-Con, I met Brian D. Anderson, the author of The Bard's Blade. Just came out. Is doing very well. One of my favorite guys to meet. He was also at Bard's Tower signing books. In fact, you can see my video, my tutorial video that I filmed with Brian D. Anderson from ConnectiCon on the tutorial is how to get your favorite authors to sign your books. So go just to type in my name and tutorial signed authors. The video will show up. But anyway, yeah, he signed the book. And let's see if I can find it. Yes, right there at the front. Signed it to me. So got that one signed. Now here's the one I really wanted to show you. Oh my gosh. A lot of you probably know John Jackson Miller from the Kenobi novels and some of the Star Wars novels he wrote. Well, he was at the Connecticut. John Jackson Miller's been at a lot of the Comic-Cons I've done, so I've met him quite a few times. But at the Connecticut Comic-Con, he had this magnificent book. It's a $200 book, people. But I was eyeballing this for the whole convention as we were signing books together, and he was signing copies of this, and I was like, I gotta get one of these, because this thing looks dope. And it's seriously one of the dopest things I've ever bought. It is this Old Republic comic book. I don't read comic books. In fact, besides this, the only comics I own are this Conan series with the Frank Frazetta artwork. Well, this now I own another set of comics. This is all 57 comics of this Old Republic story combined in this one big omnibus, and it's a beautiful book, and he signed it for me. He signed that bad boy for me. And I can't wait to get into it. I mean, I started to read about the first 20 pages, and I don't do comics at all. I don't do comics at all, but I think I might start collecting some comics if they start doing like these omnibus editions where every single comic, like all 57, are in the same book. Even if it costs me a couple $100, this is just a beautiful book. This is one of the most beautiful books I have ever bought, and I am super stoked to read it because it's part of the Star Wars Legends series. And you know I love the Star Wars Legends stuff way more than I love the Disney Star Wars stuff. And look at the cover, and the artwork is great. His signature is great. Now, I'll read the description of this one just so you know what it's about. But it's, like I said, this is 57 comics of a story set in the Legends universe written by John Jackson Miller, the guy who wrote Kenobi, and illustrated by, I'll give a shout out to the illustrators. Brian Ching, Dong Dazzo, Andrea Muddy, and Dustin Weaver. Those are the 4 illustrators of this just beautiful, beautiful thing. So this book is about, and then I'll end this after the description. The evil Sith have been defeated. Well, actually, this is the full saga of the renegade Zane Carrick. That's the official title. The evil Sith have been defeated, and the rise of the Empire is a millennia away. The Republic is slowly recovering from this devastating conflict, but now it will be plunged into turmoil once more. The formidable warriors known as the Mandalorians seek revenge for their defeat during the Sith War, and these new Mandalorian wars are testing the Republic's resources to the limit. Jedi Knights are in high demand, which makes it a terrible time for the group of Padawans training under Taurus to be killed. Only one of them, the least adept of all survivors, is to join shoulders with the charismatic, unreliable Zane Carrick that shall blame the fall, but Carrick is not guilty. So anyway, a lot of Jedis die, and they're all blaming this guy, Carrick, and he goes on the run, and he meets a bunch of interesting characters, and it's a 57-volume. Maybe some of you have read it. Maybe some of you have all 57 volumes. Well, I've got them too now in this magnificent omnibus. And boy, is it cool. One of the coolest things I think like I said, I don't read comics, but I read the first about 50 pages of this and got super into it. And I can't wait to read the whole thing and leave a review. I'm curious to see if I can read a comic. This is 1,200 pages of comics, folks. I'm curious to see if I can read 1,200 pages of comics as quickly as I can read 1,200 pages of actual novels. But we'll see. We'll see. So that is my mid-month book haul, my Comic-Con book haul. Hope you all enjoyed it. And we'll get back to straight book reviews here real shortly.